Okay, this is a review of the Drill Master from Harbor Freight 6-inch cutoff saw. Okay, it's not just an unboxing, it's a really good review because I used it on a project, and I can tell you a lot about this saw. So I've used it for various things. I haven't been really impressed with it. I cut some sheet metal with it. It's a little flexy, it's not super accurate, I guess. It's hard to hold the metal well, so that was kind of mediocre. I cut rebar with it. Rebar seems okay. I tended to start the rebar in it, cut it about halfway, and then I'd kind of roll the rebar, and it seemed like it would cut it faster, but again, it's not an ideal situation or operation. And then I came up with the best use for it so far. I had to cut some flat stock. This is basically 2 inches wide by 1/4 inch thick carbon steel, plain steel, mild steel, and I had to figure out a way to cut this. So I tried it flat, laying it flat on the Drill Master saw, and it was horrible. It takes a very, very long time for the blade to cut through it like that. Then I tried standing it up this way, vertical, and I noticed it cut through it much quicker, but it was kind of hard to keep the length, to hit. It couldn't cut from the top all the way down to the bottom in one pass. The machine, the motor, would start bottoming out on the top before the blade got through the bottom, even with a new blade. So then I came up with an alternative. You cut half one way, you flip it upside down, you cut the other half. But to do that accurately, it's best to hook up a fence, and it doesn't come with a fence. But I took a simple I-beam, heavy. I set up the gap based on a 2x4 for me, so I got just the right length I want. These are the size tabs I'm trying to cut out, so that gives me that space. I use a clamp to hold this to the Drill Master, to the chop saw, and that took care of the size. And then I could stick it in, slide it in. So the clamp works okay for this. I could slide it in till it hits, clamp it up, and then I could cut right through half of it easy, loosen it up a little bit, pull it out, flip it upside down, put it back in, and I was able to cut these. So what this is I've cut 19 so far. I have 1 to go. So it did this very quickly, very efficiently, not a lot of fuss. And now I'm going to even talk about how long the blades go. So I've already used these 2 blades up. I don't know how much I did with them. I did lots of different things, but I just put a brand new blade on there to do this set of 20. And here's the comparison. Look at the brand new blade here. See the 2X? It's almost at the edge of the blade. Now on here you can still see 2X there, and the X is just about at the very edge. Here it's about maybe 1/8 of an inch from the very edge, that X. On this one it's a little bit closer. So it didn't really eat up a lot of blade yet. Very little. I'd say like not even 10% of the blade. Now these guys have been gobbled up. They're gone. But a brand new blade, 20 cuts, and it's really still looking pretty good here. So so like I'm saying, for this job I think it's wonderful. It's it's noisy. It's not as noisy as a big saw. One other thing, yesterday I used a miter saw with a metal blade. This is a Diablo. I guess the name is on the other side. It's a Diablo metal cutting blade. It's pretty impressive, but I lost a tooth on something once that moved, and it doesn't seem like it cuts as good as it used to. Anyway, I did use it to cut a set of 20 the other day, and I have to say this was actually slower, and it was kind of rough. Like, it would cut, but it would be kind of grinding, and it was rougher. It wasn't as, this is a lot easier, more pleasant. So that's what, well, so my review is saying, for a lot of things it's not very great or pretty at cutting stuff. Trying to cut this flat will take you a long time, and it will eat up a blade, no question. But if you stand it vertically, it's very efficient. Cutting through that. It's pretty efficient at cutting rebar. I tend to just want to roll it. Makes it go a lot faster. Once you get about halfway, you start rolling it. You got to be careful you don't jam the blade, though. So now I'm going to give a demonstration. I'll stop this and make another video. Demonstration of it actually cutting through this, how well it goes, and you'll see how the saw doesn't sit in one place for, like, you know, seconds. It kind of constantly moves down, cutting through it, which is, I think, cool. And that's about it. Gives you an idea of the blade life, material. It you know, it can handle 1/4 inch. I'm sure it could handle 3/8 inch steel, 2 inch wide.